This is the story of the Treadwell Gold Mine. It was in 1880 that two prospectors, Joseph Juneau and Richard Harris, were prospecting out in an area known as the Silver Bowl Basin. There, they happened to come across a nice find of gold. The Silver Bowl Basin isn't too far out from Juneau, Alaska. Of course, as usual, news about a gold strike got out, and the next thing you know, there is a whole bunch of other prospectors and miners in the area looking for gold. One of these prospectors was a man named John Treadwell, who had a bit of money and bought a lode claim on Douglas Island. John Treadwell did a bit of sampling on this claim of his and then ended up buying two more claims that were next to the one he already had. He continued to sample these claims and then sent the samples off to an assayer to get some results of his finds. The assays came back and showed some very good results of gold. In late 1881, John formed the Alaska Mill and Mining Company and started to mine the gold vein that was on his property. It was pretty low-key at first, which was good, because after he started mining, he noticed that the vein of gold went onto neighboring claims. No one really knew how good the claims were, so claims could be bought for a little money, and so he ended up buying a few more claims around the claims he already had. John Treadwell wanted to expand this mine, so he ended up going to California, because he knew of some people who would most likely invest money with him. He already had some investors from California who bought stock in the company, so he returned to seek more financial help. As it turned out, the investors liked what they saw and put more money into the operation. He then returned to the claims, and with the money, he started a large-scale mining operation. Over the years, John Treadwell grew the mine, and soon there were 5 mills processing gold ore from 4 different mines. There were over 2,000 miners working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There were shafts in these mines that ran a depth of 2,500 feet down below the surface. In its day, the Treadwell mine was the largest hard rock mine in the world. In 1898, John Treadwell sold his share of the mines to other investors for almost $2 million, and he returned home to California. In 1917, the mines were still producing gold and the mills were still working. There were underground channels and drifts that were being mined out that extended under the Gastineau Channel. One day, one of the tunnels started to leak in water, so the tunnel was evacuated. Later that day, the entire tunnel collapsed and filled in with seawater. The water then ran into other tunnels also. This put an end to mining at the Treadwell mine. There were a few more tunnels that could be mined, but by 1922, the gold ran out and the mine was closed for good. Not long ago, I watched a short documentary on a guy who had a small dredge and was mining the tailings from these old mines, and he was still getting some gold. I hope you enjoyed this short story about the old Treadwell mine. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you more old lost mine stories.